Hi guys, it's Night Fear, and I have come on today to share my TBR for the Read-EH-Thon, and it's a Canadian Read-A-Thon. I do not live in Canada. I have never been to Canada, but some of the booktubers that I watch are...
Hi everybody!
There's Kaylin. Are from Canada, so they decided to do this Read-A-Thon. And it's hosted by My Reading is Odd. That's Natasha. Love her. And I'm going to try to link all the channels down below so you can check out their channels. Books and Lala. Also love her. She's a big, extremely large channel, but she's still really sweet and I love to watch her videos. YeraBookNerdZoe. Love, love, love her. Love the way she does her videos. Love how she's very silly and very real in her videos. Really love her. Check her out. And then SaidTheStory. I have not really watched too much of her, but she seems really nice too. And then SquibblesReads is kind of an honorary part of this, but from what the other ladies have said, she is pregnant, and so I'm not sure if she'll be getting very many videos or whatever for this, but you know, she's still one of the hosts. So I will link all those channels below so that you guys can check it out and check out their TBR. And this Read-A-Thon is from July 1st until the 8th, so there's still plenty of time for you guys to join. And I discovered that some of the authors that I have read, or the books that some of the books I've been interested are actually Canadian authors. So it's kind of cool that I found some new authors and didn't realize that they were Canadian. So, but anyway, so let's get on into this. There are 5 challenges, and I've got actually 4 physical books and only 1 on my Kindle. So I'm really excited about that because I got several from the library. So I was excited. But the first challenge is to read a book by an Indigenous author, and that is an author like, here in the United States we call them Native Americans. They're Indigenous. Oh shoot. You're a book nerd, Zoe. She called them something else too, and I can't remember what she said. Anyway, so this one I had some problems finding for a library book, so I had to choose one off my Kindle. And this one is Motorcycles in Sweetgrass by Drew Hayden Taylor. And it is about a guy who shows up on a motorcycle to a reservation. And it's called Otter Lake. And he basically, the chief's daughter kind of falls in love. Her son's not too happy. And him, his uncle, and a band of raccoons, I guess, chase him off, the guy on the motorcycle. So, I don't know, it sounded kind of cute and funny, and, you know, so, yeah. So I picked this one. We'll see. I'm not sure how I like that, because I'm not really a contemporary reader too much, but I'm finding some contemporary books I'm actually liking. So, the next one is book with A-E-H in the title. Now, they don't have to be in that order. It would be really cool if I could find one, but I couldn't. So I picked At the, H-E, right there, Water's Edge. And it's by Sarah Gruen, I hope is how you pronounce her name. And she actually wrote Water for Elephants. I could have gotten Water for Elephants, but I saw that movie and I didn't want to read something, because I'm tending to, when I'm watch the movie first, I'm tending to not be as interested in the book. So I wanted to read something for the Read-A-Thon that I'd actually get through. And so this is actually about a woman who, she's in, okay, it's 1940s. And she's married, and her husband decides to move them to Scotland in search of the Loch Ness Monster. So I thought this was really interesting. And if you look at this right here, if you can see, like, it's imprinted, it's actually the Loch Ness Monster. See, isn't that cool? Love the cover. So I thought that it was going to be a really cool book. I don't know. And if I like it, maybe I will go back and try to read read Water for Elephants. So, yeah, sounds interesting. But yeah, and yeah, sounds good. All right, so the next challenge is book with red on the cover. Now, I had to switch some of these around, but these still fit. But the first one that I picked for this actually will be in, it's for a later book, but it was a whole red. This one just has a little red. And this is Open Secrets by Alice Munro. And this is a bunch of short stories all about women. And so it sounded really interesting, and I haven't read anything by her. And she actually has written a lot of different books, a lot of different short stories, anthologies. And so I decided that I would try this one, and if I like it, then, I might try some more. So, but yeah, it says, these are stories in which women are central. They're about lovers found and lovers lost, but lodged still in the subconscious, about secrets that change lives, about people whose histories are opening out or coming to an end. Their power accumulates layer by layer as time and reality shift. Identities become uncertain, truths surface. So it sounded really, really good. So, yes. So that's my with red on the cover. Oh, and the reason they chose red on the cover is because the Canadian flag is red and white. So, all right, then the next one is a woman author. And of course, both the books I just showed you could have qualified, but I wanted a book for each challenge. So, but if I don't get through all of them, I'll probably still, because you can count more than one book for each, for the challenge. But I really, like I said, I really wanted to get through all these books. The next two especially, I'm really, really excited about. So for the woman author, I picked Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Now this is one that was already on my TBR that I'm really excited about reading, and I've heard some really good things about this book, and I'm just really excited. And if anybody has watched me for long, I like dystopian type books, and so yeah, I'm very excited. And this one is about it's a famous actor has a heart attack on stage. And there's a flu that's spreading. Okay, that's the first part of it. And that's like in the past, okay? So you have this flu, and then 15 years later, there's a child actress on the stage that watches the man have a heart attack, and 15 years later, she's now an actress with a traveling symphony. And they move between settlements in this dystopian world. So I'm not sure if there are like any zombie type things or whatever, or if it's just a flu where everybody, half the people die out or whatever. But I'm still excited because I love dystopian, and it's supposed to be, from what I've heard, a really great book. So, yeah. So if you guys have read this book, let me know down in the comments if you liked it and what you thought about it. And, yeah. So, and look, guys, see, I'm still picking big books. I should know better. I should try to pick smaller books. But I was just excited to find so many Canadian authors in my library. Because I really would rather read books than read on my Kindle. But if I can't find them, real books, then I will read them on my Kindle. So the last challenge is set in a province you've never visited, which was really easy. I just had to find a book that was set in Canada because I've never been to Canada. And I chose The Troop by Nick Cutter. And look, guys, see, it's actually Stephen King actually is the one that did the blurb. And anybody that knows me knows he's my favorite author. And I'll read you the blurb. It said, "The troop scared the beep out of me, and I couldn't put it down. This is old school horror at its best. Not for the faint-hearted, but for the rest of us sick puppies, it's a perfect gift for a winter night." So this was the one, I will probably end up reading this book first because I am so excited about reading this one. I will probably start this like first thing on Sunday. And it is actually, it's about a troop of boys, Boy Scout troop of boys, and they're out in the woods with their scout leader, and a man ends up going into their camp. And does it actually say zombie. But I'm thinking it's a zombie book. You know, and
it's a cannibal book.
Yeah, Kaylin butting in. Oh yeah, here it is. It says part Lord of the Flies, part 28 Days Later. And so I've watched 28 Days Later. It's zombie. And then Lord of the Flies, of course, if anybody's watched Lord of the Flies, you know it's about a group of boys trying to survive on an island. So I'm thinking that their troop leader must get killed, I have a feeling, and that the boys are trying to survive the zombies all on their own. So I'm so excited. I hope Sunday hurries up and gets here because I really want to read this book. It's been very hard to sit there and let it sit on my shelf without starting it, let me tell you. So if anybody has ever read this book, let me know, or anything else by Nick Cutter. I know that is his pseudonym. It's actually, his name is Craig Davidson, and he's actually written books under that name too. But I am so excited for this book. So, but anyway, that is my TBR for the Read-EH-Thon, and I am extremely excited, and I hope that you guys will join. I really wanted to get this TBR up sooner, but yeah. I'm just a slacker, guys. I'm just a slacker. And so I saw everybody else putting up their TBR, so I thought I better get this done. So join us, guys. Even, you know, if you just read one or two, and the reason they chose July 1st is because that's Canada Day. So it will start July 1st, that Sunday, and go to the following Sunday. So it is an 8-day read-a-thon. So 8 days, 5 books, not too bad. And you can be smarter than me and pick smaller books. So let me know if you guys have read any of these, or interested in reading any of these. And that's all for now. And please be kind to each other, and I will see you in the next video.